Willow, episode 1, title The Gales. Of course, this is the start of the brand new Disney Plus show, which is a sequel to the 1988 film of the same name. It is a film that a lot of people have a lot of nostalgia over, a lot of fondness over. So naturally, when Lucasfilm decided, hey, let's do Willow 2, but as a TV show, it got people a lot excited, a lot of fond memories, and all that. And me, who clearly wasn't born, I was born in 96, and I saw the film during lockdown back in 2020 for the first time. So I it, and my opinion of it, I was like, hey, I liked it. Yeah, I like it, but I didn't thought it was like this amazing achievement. But I knew the TV show was getting made, or at least Lucasfilm was developing a Willow TV show. So I thought, hey, let me check out the first film. Check the first film. Let me check the film, and so I know at least what happened between through the years, right? So I checked out episode 1, and I will say this: I enjoyed the first half of it, and then I didn't enjoy the second half of it. I felt like this first episode, and I get it. Probably the reason is it felt like that is because Willow, the main character himself, doesn't show up until like the last, like, I don't know, 3 minutes of the episode. I I think they were a bit worried that people wouldn't tune in because the show's called Willow and Willow hasn't showed up yet, right? That type of mindset, and we're all way on episode 2 and Willow hasn't shown up. I think that's the mindset, right? But what I felt watching this episode is it felt like there was 2 episodes and they were merging and trying to cram it into one. Because you got one half, which is the beginning, like the first 30 minutes of the episode, which is establishing the characters, setting up the plot, setting up the big threat, which is these like gargoyle kind of creatures that can teleport and fly, and the Batman. Somehow the Batman Who Laughs showed up. I didn't realize like there was gonna be a DC crossover. I thought it would be a Marvel crossover with DC, but apparently the Batman Who Laughs is in this with his chains flying everywhere. And you have your like Hulk brute type creature, and the prince is kidnapped. And you have to say in Weshu, is that Weshu the princess is Weshu the prince, right? And I'm like, okay, that's episode 1. And then you say, hey, here's our characters, and they're going to go on this quest, an episode, and find Willow, and that's the end of episode 1. And I felt like you could sweat that out, develop a little bit more. I felt like even though I quite enjoyed the first half of the episode, I felt also like the characters, like they try to do the whole thing of each character at least has a scene and to have them be developed. But what it does is it's just knowing that there's an extra 20 minutes or 21 minutes left, and knowing that the second half just feels like it's washing through the motions. It's like this happens and this happens and this happens and this happens without a sense of fluidity and a sense of flow in a way. And Story Swatcher, it just felt like it's having information dumps or stuff is just happening not organically. It just felt like, oh yeah, you're the kid, you're the baby from the first film. It just doesn't feel right. It just felt wash. That's what it is. The second half with the quest and trying the path for finding Willow just felt really wash, really. And when it hit the credits, it's just like, huh? That's it? Really? And with a weird song choice and all that, I'm like, just play the Willow theme. Just play the Willow theme. Don't try to be all hippie and poppy and play some hip song saying, We're back. We're back. That's listen the lyrics. We're back. Are you happy? We're back. We're back, bitches. Kind of thing, right? Anyway, but for the first half, as much as I quite like it, I did felt like the prince. They trying to make him like this, like he's he's a womanizer. He's good with the ladies. He's a charmer. He's a bit full of himself. He feels like he knows every answer. He sticks his nose in other things, but he doesn't really have much to say, like dialogue wise, like actual dialogue speak. Because the moment he does speak, he gets cut off, and it's like he's not that much of a character. I don't really care about him. But that like he's the plot. He's the plot device, and that's essentially what he is. So I wish he had maybe an extra scene just to develop. I wish that you have this prisoner, and he has one scene before he goes and fights off, helps out to help fight off the goons from that kidnapped the prince. It's just it doesn't feel it. I wish there was an extra scene to understand who is he, why is he there, why is it important. And of course, there's seven more episodes, so we will find out. But it just felt just stuff is happening for the sake of stuff is happening. Even though I enjoy it, I really do like the relationship between. Let me get the character's name right. Thank you, Wikipedia. Let me get here we go. I really do like the relationship between Kit, who is our main character, and Jane, who Jane, who is the love interest. I do find the chemistry. I have that. I can feel that chemistry. I can feel the relationship, like kind of like the friendship, but you can tell there's some neutral relationship, and tendencies floating around. And Kit is the Princess Kit. She is the I don't want to marry someone that I don't even know like about. I want to fall in love, and marry them instead. And why it has to be like this and why it has to be like that. And she's an adventurer, so she wants to go out and have so she's that character, type of character. She's like it's the classic the modern person living in the medieval times, which of course as we work these back in those days, it was like shut up and do what you're told because you're a woman. That's not my that was the medieval mindset, right? Your job as princess and queen is just to pop up kids, and that's it. And that was their role, and that's essentially what pretty much happens in the in the episode. But as much I have problems with the episode, as much as, and I was kind of looking forward to this just because I've been hearing like people being like, oh, it's so adventure-y, it's so great, it's a great on adventure. And while I'm watching this, I'm like, this is just cramming way too much in one episode. And hopefully, and thank God it's like at least 8 episodes, not 6 episodes. I thought it was 6, but hopefully they're not cramming too much or leaving less stuff on the table. That could easily be like one episode in there, because the Disney Plus shows have a habit of adding too much or cramming too much into an episode count that doesn't feel warranted of its count. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to cover the show. I am going to immediately cover the show. But my opinion, first episode, I don't know if I like it or didn't like it. That's the problem. I don't know what my opinion on this episode is on just the thumbs up, thumbs down type of side of things. But you guys now know my opinion on the first episode. What is your opinion on the first episode of Willow?